We'll walk through a couple of the core ideas of the adaptive leadership framework. The first question to consider is, what is the nature of the work before us? We find the distinction between technical and adaptive to be helpful in navigating this question. With technical work, the challenges we face are clearly defined, and we, or a person with expertise or authority, know how to solve them. Technical tasks are not necessarily easy or straightforward, but the solution is known and the work is about optimizing execution and efficiency. You do technical things every day, repeatedly and with great skill. And yet there's another kind of work, which we call adaptive, that is important to distinguish from the technical. With adaptive work, the issues are hard to identify or not clearly understood. There is no expert or authority who can be called upon to resolve the problem. Adaptive work requires those involved or affected by the work to come together to sort through competing commitments and priorities, to take risks and experiment with new ways forward. We can't think our way through adaptive issues. The work happens in the gut and heart rather than in the head. And almost always, there is some loss involved, for all parties, in order to move forward. This may be loss of competence or familiarity or comfort. In leading adaptive change, an element of the work is in holding folks through the loss they may be experiencing. It's truly relational work. The second core question is, what choices do we face when leading change in our communities? To understand this scenario, we distinguish between exercising authority and exercising leadership. Exercising authority equates to doing your job well. There are a set of expectations on each of us in our role as authority figures, and this is true both as individuals and as organizations. We gain more authority by delivering on those expectations, which fall into three categories: protection, direction, and order. Authority is a contract for services. The idea of leadership is quite different. It's about stepping out of those expectations to interrupt unproductive patterns. Maybe things that have worked for years, but because the world has changed, they no longer get the results we want. Leadership is not defined by position. It's an activity that can be practiced by anyone at any time. Exercising both authority and leadership are important, though they serve very different purposes. An authority structure is essential for any human system to function. Plus, technical work lends itself to a top-down, expert-driven solution, something that we're all familiar and comfortable with. Exercising authority is important in a crisis, to calm and comfort those affected. Yet, exercising authority does nothing to change the current system. Exercising leadership is essential when we want to challenge the status quo, change the current way of operating, or tackle a question for which we have no easy answers. In summary, as you think about this idea of leading adaptive change, take time to regularly step out of the day-to-day and reflect on two key things. First, what is the nature of the work we have to do? What technical work do we need to keep doing well, and what may we have to step away from to make space for new and innovative ways of working? And second, what are we going to stay within our own authority role and do what people expect us to do, be predictable and reliable, which we all have to do sometimes, versus when are we going to dance on the edge of our authority, disappoint some of the expectations on us in order to challenge the status quo and move our communities forward?